How's everybody? Good.
Byron, I know you don't go into the game saying I want 8 rushing attempts, but that's what happened, right? And part of that is because you couldn't run the ball. You get behind, you get the punt. So when you look at it, it's never one thing, but specifically, what has to happen for that to get going?
For our run game,
Yeah.
first and foremost, we just got to get connected. We got to get in our run lanes, and we got to get more downhill with our run game, to be honest with you. Obviously, I don't even know how many attempts we had, 6 or 7, something like that. The game got away from us, so we had to chase the score. But in general, we just got to do a better job of getting connected on the second level, running, getting to the right landmark so we can get to the right spot. So we're working on it. We'll be fine.
Are those guys, like, technically, are they coming off the ball, like, from a schematic? Are they coming off low? Are they doing the right things from a technique standpoint?
Yeah, it's just, some great defenders on the opposite side. It ain't easy to push the big guys around, but we're working on it. We'll get there. We'll get to where we need to be effective the way we need to be.
You guys had so much success running outside the tackles in week 1. We haven't really seen as much of that, especially the last 2 weeks. I know you haven't had that many rushing attempts. Is that just because of the way defenses now are lining up against you guys?
Some we go into the game trying to, like I tell you guys, we want to win the game that day. So sometimes it may not be in the game plan that we're going to be outside the tackles because who we're up against and the opponent we're up against. So that's a game plan thing, really a week-to-week thing on what we need to do from that standpoint to win that day.
Was it at least encouraging, though, for you to see the number of first downs you guys had against the Chiefs, to see the fact that, hey, the offense is starting to come together when you've got a lot of healthy pieces in place, and four red zone touchdowns? I mean, you could take some positives from that.
Oh, yeah, that's what we are. That's what we are. That's what we've been since we've been together really as a group. So it was good to see.
Byron, you guys have been hurting at receiver some here in the first 4 games, obviously, but in downfield passing, plays of 20 yards or more, you have half as many as you had after 4 games last year. Do you think some of that's just wanting to get rid of the ball quicker, or do you think there are other things at play?
No, it's really like the way teams play us. The teams know who we have from a personnel standpoint, especially when our guys are out there. So they trying to get us to throw underneath. We don't care. We'll take the completion. We don't care what defenses do. We're going to make the right play all the time. If it takes us 12 plays, it takes us 5 plays. It's really irrelevant to us. We're not trying to play a certain way. We just want to attack the defense. Just keep attacking the defense and score points. That's really our process. So it depends on what we get from a coverage standpoint to determine if we get over top of people. But if they don't want you to get over top, they play soft coverage. We'll take everything we can underneath.
A lot of people just, Tom, at the age of 45, people wonder if he's ever going to drop off, ever his skills will diminish. Are you just amazed, though, that his ability and the quality of play that you're seeing out of him, at his age?
Yes. It's hard to imagine somebody playing at the level that he's playing at if you're 26, let alone when you're 45, right? You're 45. You see the ball come out his hand. You guys see it. It's special to be able to throw the ball that way. He's still got that much velocity, that much accuracy in his football. That's unique, man. That's a special thing, for him to being able to locate that ball and put that ball where he needs to be. That's why he's Tom Brady, though. It's special and unique to see on a day-in, day-out basis.
The touchdown to Mike Evans in the corner, is that kind of a perfect example of?
Yeah, it's just one place to put that ball, right? One place to put that ball. Him and Mike got a great opportunity. You couldn't find 2 better guys to be in that situation.
Got more of a look at Rachaad White. Scored his first touchdown. What did you say to him?
Oh, he played well. He had a smile on his face the whole time. Unfortunately for him, he had to turn over early, but that's part of being in the National Football League. He can learn from that. But to come in on offense and to help us the way he helped us, it's going to be good for us because of what he can do from a skill set standpoint. He can do a lot of different things, a lot of things that Lenny can do from a skill set standpoint, so it's good to get him out there.
What does that say to have that goldfish mind, to get over that and still be able to contribute?
That's the game. That's the game on this level. I don't know what that was. But it's the game, right? Things good happen, things bad happen within a 60, 70-play game, right? You got to be able to move on from each play, try to play your best down you get.
Byron, we didn't see Julio in the second half last week. How has he looked this week? You look okay, good to go?
Yeah, he look okay. We'll see. We'll see on Sunday.
One more thing on Tom. Do you notice anything, is he any different at all, his demeanor? I mean, I'm sure there's so much publicity with Tom, outside, off the field. Do you notice anything different in Tom when he's here?
No, exact same guy.
Byron, how much can you glean from the guys that have played in Atlanta in terms of just tendencies, how guys play up there that can help you this week?
Well, we know these guys well because they're in our division, right? We know these guys well. Obviously, Julio was in Tennessee last year. Russ was there last year, so it helps. But I think within the division, when you play division opponents, people know each other well enough, whereas though you don't have to. You get any information you can get, but most of the time teams know each other well.
Byron, the Falcons, they've been in every game. Could have won week 1 against New Orleans. They're 2-2. They're making some plays on defense. What do you see on that side of the ball?
Yeah, they're playing hard. They're playing tough. They got players that they're just making plays, right? You watch them, they're just making plays. And it's the National Football League. You know what I mean? Each week is a tough – every time we play these guys is tough, right? It's tough every time we play them. Anytime you play within the division, it's tough. So we expect a good football team to show up. We're trying to prepare and make sure we're ready to play our best.
Terrell, one of the better corners.
Yes, yes.
Byron, in 2020, you guys lost to the Chiefs, right? It was a 3-point game, not a 10-point game. But and you came back in the second half. You got behind, but you came out of that game saying, "We found something. We got our rhythm. You started attacking." Do you feel like the same thing could transpire in that you need to continue to attack more? I mean, the best thing you do, right, is throw it to Mike and throw it to Chris.
Yes. Yes, I mean, it's not that we found something. It's just good to have our guys out there. It's good to really have your guys and get the continuity back of being in a game day huddle. It was first 4 weeks, right? We having a bunch of guys in and out the huddle, so it was good to have your main guys in the huddle so they can start developing what they need to develop. That's what I took from that game. If we can just get our guys out there, that's what I think we can do offensively.
Brian, how surprised were you yesterday to see Cole Beasley retiring after 2 games, kind of midweek?
It caught me by surprise, but that's the game. I always say this: players know first. Most of the time, it's hard for us to get to that point, but players know before anybody else. And when you get there, when you start having that feeling, the best thing to do is to probably get out, because this is a tough game to play halfway in, halfway out. So it was great to have him for 2 weeks, to be around him for 2 weeks. I actually learned a lot from him, just picking his brain. But, I mean, players know first. Players know first, and you got to respect that when players do that.
Coach Keith has been more of a blocker the last couple of games. Had a nice reception. We're just going to get him the ball more.
Well, he's probably 7th or 8th on the list with the guys. But that's why I don't see him really as a fullback. When we said earlier in the year, I don't just see him as a fullback. He has certain skill sets that he can bring from a tight end position. But you can put him in the backfield and you can put him at the line of scrimmage. So Cole got a skill set that's unique to really Cole. He can do more than you really think he can do. So it's good to see him get his first catch.
What can you say about K-Dot and the fact that he was dealing with a really difficult personal loss, and he came in there and stepped in for Cam Brate and seemed to do a pretty admirable job?
Yeah, and you watch these two guys that we're talking about, right? You wouldn't even know that they're rookies. These two guys are rookies in the huddle, playing at a high level, being able to get the job done. That's a special, unique thing to get two guys in the same position, rookies. They on the field at the same time, and being able to trust in them. The way that they practice every day, they don't have MEs. They don't do the wrong thing. They always doing the right thing. That's what's special about these two. These two you can put them in the huddle and feel comfortable that they'll do the right thing. So that's unique, especially when you're talking about rookies and tight ends, because that's a tough position to be a rookie at with all the different things you got to do from a position standpoint.
Okay.
All right, guys, have a good one. Have a good one.